Good day. Welcome to another series of Chemistry That Got Easier when VR Tutors. In today's class, we are going to be talking about the electrovalent or an ionic bond. What is electrovalent bond? Electrovalent bond is characterized by the transfer of electrons from metallic atom, such as the sodium atom, to a non-metallic atom, such as the chlorine atom, during a reaction. The metallic atom that donates the electron becomes positively charged, while the non-metallic atom that accepts the electron becomes negatively charged. The strong electrostatic attraction that holds the oppositely charged ions together is called the ionic bond. Now let's try to explain this to get a better understanding. We said an example of a metallic atom is the sodium atom. Metallic atom. And an example of a non-metallic atom is the chlorine atom. So non-metallic, you have chlorine. Now let's see an example of the formation of an ionic bond. So sodium. Sodium has 11 electrons in its atom, 11 electrons. Now, if we want to share this electron, how it to be arranged in the orbitals of its atom according to the 288 rule, you have the K shell, we take 2 electrons, the L shell, we take 8 electrons, and you have the M shell, we have 1 electron. So let's try to draw the electron dot of this. So the atom, so let's try. We have this nucleus, the K shell, which is the first shell, has 2 electrons, the L shell has 8. And the M shell has 1. Now, according to the 288 rule, or let's even talk about the octet rule. The number of electrons in the outermost shell, when you have the LM shell, should be 8 for the atom to be stable. But sodium just have 1. So let's leave it and let's see chlorine. Chlorine has 17 electrons in its atom. So you have 17 electrons. 17 electrons in its atom. Now, let's try to share. We have the K, we take 2. L, we take 8. And this is 2 plus 8, 10. 17 minus 10, you have 7. And the M, we have 7. So let's try to draw the atomic structure. So you have this. K shell 2. So let's try to, let's use circles. L shell 8. N shell, you have 7. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, looking at this, sodium has just 1 electron in its outermost shell. And you know, for it to be stable, it needs 8 electrons, meaning it needs 7 more electrons to be stable. While chlorine has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 electrons in its outermost shell. And for it to be stable, it needs 8 electrons in its outermost shell, meaning chlorine needs 1, while sodium needs 7. Now for sodium, it is actually not easy to start gaining 7 electrons because the amount of energy needed to gain 7 electrons is actually high. So what will sodium do? Sodium will look at and be like, oh, why not lose this 1 electron? Because losing this 1 electron, we consume a lesser amount of energy compared to gaining 7 electrons. So what it does is it is going to donate this 1 electron to chlorine because chlorine needs 1. Chlorine cannot start losing 7 because it has a high number of electrons on its outermost shell. So for it to start losing 7 electrons, we consume a higher amount of energy. So instead of losing the 7, it will gain 1. So sodium will be like, oh, sister chlorine, you need 1, and I need to lose 1. So Why not let us form a bond? So what happens? Sodium, we actually transfer 1 to chlorine. So transferring 1 to chlorine, sodium atom becomes, this is the K shell, O shell, H, and then the M shell is gone. And then chlorine atom, because this is the K shell, L shell, which is H, and then the M shell. Let's now see. Remember, it is actually getting 1 from sodium. So you are going to have its original 7. Then remember, 1 is coming. What we have just illustrated here is the formation of what? Sodium chloride. In sodium chloride, sodium lost 1 electron and chlorine gains 1 electron. So what you have is sodium. In sodium chloride, this, and Cl gains 1. Now, one thing to note in gaining of electron and losing of electron, when atoms lose electron, they become more positively charged. But when they gain electron, they become more what? Negatively charged. So in the formation of ionic compounds, you have the gain and loss of electron, just like we have illustrated in sodium chloride, where sodium is losing 1 electron and chlorine is gaining 1 electron. So what we have here is the formation of ionic compound, which is sodium chloride, and formation of ionic bond, which is seen in sodium chloride.